Like the debate, people around the country are talking about Dr. Ford's sexual assault allegation against Brett Kavanaugh. Psychiatrist Dr. Joshua Weiner thinks this is the perfect opportunity for parents to have important conversations with their teenage kids about this sensitive topic. Dr. Weiner joins us this morning to offer parents some guidance on how to frame this conversation. Thanks for coming in, Doc.
Sure.
I think the statistic was 1 in 5 women will be a victim of sexual assault before they graduate from college. That's a pretty sobering thing to think about.
It's unbelievable, right? And this is why I think this conversation is so important. So think about it. Parents will talk to their kids and stress you need to buckle up. But what's the likelihood that their kid's going to get into a life-threatening car crash? It's probably less than 1 in 5. I'm sure it is. So this is why this is such an important conversation to have. And, you know, it's an uncomfortable conversation to broach for both the kids and for the parents. So this is the perfect opportunity. Parents, take advantage of this moment to have this important conversation.
Because even their teens are paying attention to what's going on in the world around them. This has obviously been a big news headline. But how do you get into this? How do you begin to bring up this topic with your teen?
So I suggest you do it in the car. Car is always a good time to have some good conversations. I think you just say, hey, have you been following or do you know much about this whole Brett Kavanaugh confirmation process and the allegations? See what they have to say about that. In general, you want to do more listening than talking. I'm not a big fan of you know, sort of preaching and giving lectures to kids. I think you start asking them questions. Hey, what are your thoughts about what happened? Have you had these conversations with your friends? Have you ever had any friends encounter any situations where they were in uncomfortable sexual you know, environments? What about you? Do a lot of listening. That's the way to get the conversation going, at least.
So as you're listening, what do you suggest parents say, in particular to their daughters?
So when it comes to the daughters, I think there are a couple things. One thing I do suggest you talk to your daughter about is, God forbid you're in one of these situations, what might you do to help yourself? The answer that you're probably going to get is, I'll kick them where it hurts, or I'll scream for help, or I'll fight. The reality is that's probably not going to take place. So the one thing I suggest people say to their daughters is, one thing that you could do is if you're uncomfortable in a situation, you could tell the person, look, I think I'm going to throw up. That gives you a chance to get somewhere. They're probably not going to continue to hook up with you if they think you might throw up. Gives you a chance to take a step away, and then you can get your bearings and do something else. The other thing, you must talk to them about alcohol and the role that alcohol plays. Alcohol is involved with the women. Alcohol is often involved with the boys. So you have to talk about, you need to be in control. You don't want to be out of control or you're setting yourself up for potential damage. The other thing is you want to lead by example. You want to make sure that your daughter knows that no matter what happens, they can come to you. Say, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to give you a hard time. I'm not going to be angry. I just want to know.
So, and what about sons? What do you say there?
Here, it's no means no. You've got to be careful. You should not hook up with somebody if you're drunk. If the girl you're hooking up with is clearly intoxicated, this is a bad idea. Even if you think you're doing something that is not inappropriate, the girl, if she's drunk, may feel that what you did was not wanted or desired, and problems could occur. And you want to just talk about women are not objects, women need to be respected, etc. All the basic things, but you want to have these conversations now and multiple times over the course of time. It's not a one-and-done conversation.
Right. Some really good, really important advice for parents to have at this time. Dr. Joshua Weiner, appreciate you. Thank you.
My pleasure.